So yeah, let's get into the franchising stuff now that the
All right.
match has ended. Okay, so first,
Let's go.
very basic question: what does Riot mean by franchising or franchise leagues?
So franchising is just a close-off like league, where all teams get to play against each other. It's just like it's basically you have a group of people. It's like a friend group, you could say. And a friend group is basically closed off from any other competition, and they play against each other, and then they get the chance to play internationally. So I feel like that's best explained, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The users also wanted to ask by franchising the leagues that have come out so far regarding the details or the specifics of franchising, right? About salaries and everything. How true are they, and are the specifics going to be uniform for all regions?
There's gonna be differences. Of course, that's not surprising since NA it requires more salaries than like APAC, and that's something that Riot understands. So, but it's not gonna be entirely different.
Okay.
So there's a lot I can't really talk about because I promised
Yeah.
my friend who is like making the big report about franchising to not talk too much. So if you want like today, I believe it's today he'll release it. If not,
Ooh.
it's delayed. But definitely keep a watch on Twitter because I'm probably gonna retweet it. So
Nice. And
there basically are all the details. I don't know exactly about APAC because APAC is more chaotic, I would say, from what I heard.
Yeah.
So they are still in the works, you could say.
hmm. And talking about the South Asian region, what do you think are the chances of us seeing a South Asian representative in the franchise leagues?
I see players representing South Asia, but I don't see a organization. And that has mostly to do with financials. An issue that I see like with a lot of South Asian organizations is that they throw a lot of money out, but they don't benefit from it. So basically, it seems like they're fucking rich, but they aren't rich. That's the entire underlying issue that we have seen, at least, and that's why I have put like nearly all South Asian organizations like down a ton.
Hmm.
So
So it's
that's
basically like
just
dumping, right?
yeah, it's basically just dumping the money. Like you don't have a stable way of getting money back. You got to remember that Riot is looking at organizations who can support the franchising for like 10, 15, 20 years. Not just like 2 years and oh, suddenly we're bankrupt. Shit.
Yeah.
True.
So I hope that there's a South Asian representative in as like an organization. If it's gonna be like an organization who is partnering up with like a North American organization, I don't know about that. That could be very possible because I've heard like in submissions that some APAC organizations have written that they are up for partnerships. So that's a possibility. But other than that, I see like another big organization like being told by Riot, okay, maybe you need to sign some South Asian talent and like represent them, basically.
Oh. So in conclusion, we will have some representation, be it the players or maybe an org. We will have some representation,
Hopefully.
hopefully. And another question was, what disadvantage, like for the teams who don't get franchise slots, right? Especially in South Asia, what disadvantage do they face? Disadvantages or anything?
So the disadvantage is, of course, they aren't in the big league. They aren't in the spotlight. They are tier 2. And we all know how tier 2 sometimes goes. But I do hope that it's going to end a lot like in the Europe tier 2 scene in League of Legends, where there are still like some committed fan bases who watch those leagues, and not it ends like contenders where it's just a total shit show. So I do from what I heard, there is hope for the tier 2 scene, and from what I heard, at least in Europe, it's just gonna be like we're just gonna have VRLs and all of that. in. And like my guess for NA, and it has been heavily backed, is basically just there are leagues for Brazil, there are leagues for LATAM, there are leagues for like North America. Where then the tier 2 teams get to play and maybe get the chance to play in like an international event, or at least be in like a playoff sort of system. We don't really know exactly how that's going to work. But I'm at least hopeful that there is going to be some way that like the tier 2 teams who have like exceeded expectations can be able to compete against like league teams.
Okay.
So, and I also heard about like an academy league for NA, but I'm not sure if that ever went anywhere. So,
Okay. And regardless, there'll be a tier 2 league, at least leagues for the regions, respective regions, regardless of whether we have this. So, but
if they are good managed, that's another story. I'm not really sure if they're going to be managed that well. But I'm hopeful there's going to be a good tier 2 scene, because everybody has been positive about tier 2. So,
okay. And let's say a team doesn't get a franchise spot right now. Is there hope that they get it in the future? Just like you talked about, maybe Riot trying to inculcate the Chinese teams in 2024.
Yeah. So what I am currently thinking is they're gonna do like an expansion where they are going to like see which teams in the tier 2 scene have like good financials of that, who were previous contenders to get into franchising, and see how they have performed in Valorant. Have they like had good rosters? Have they made good decisions? And just see, all right, we're gonna pick these two who are going to join in the expansion. So, and nobody really gets thrown out. If, and I believe this is 100% like likely, if an organization like really sucks, like makes the worst decisions in the world and all of that, they'll be demoted from franchising. That's what I 100% expect is going to happen. And then there's probably going to be an organization in tier 2 who gets like promoted. That's the only way of promotion I can see ever happening.
Okay.
So it's not about the organizations. It's about it's not about the teams. It's about the organizations and how they like manage the stuff they are doing.
Okay. And so basically, one question that people keep asking here is, Masters and Champions, those will be absolutely exclusive for the franchise teams, right?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be exclusive for like franchising. But it depends. We'll know the system like soon, I guess. So
Okay. Yeah. And everything. So basically, there is still chance that an SA team might get franchise slots in the future, not now, depending on how they perform, or if someone is demoted and they are doing well in the tier 2 league in our region.
if they are doing well with like decisions, it's about the organizations in tier 2. It's not about the teams they have in tier 2.
Okay.
So like, say for example, a team is doing really well, the organization can choose to like keep the same roster. Or they could, if they get into franchising, like drop their entire roster and rebuild.
Okay. So Riot's franchise system is totally org based and not team based at all, right?
It's org based, yeah.
Well,
And that's also how it should be if you want a franchise that is going to like keep on in like 10 years time.
Yeah, true.
true. But how many orgs are in it
Thanks
for
a lot,
tier 2
man.
and APC?
This clears the
No
loads
problem.
doubts these guys had, like, because we are also a passionate region, like, and
We are all passionate.
yeah. Oh, one final question. So from don't, obviously we can't leak names or anything, and I don't want you to say names anyway. But from the South Asian region, have you heard rumors of teams applying or teams invited to be applying for the Riot franchised league who are not present in the Valorant scene currently?
Let me just think back. I have a file that basically shows all the organizations I know have submitted. Give me just a second. Just need to log in. I have like so many spreadsheets with all like roster moves and all of that, so
Yeah.
very hard to manage all of it. There we go. Yes, there are South Asian organizations who aren't currently in Valorant who are looking to submit. Yeah.
Thank you. Because the rumored names, right? They have a lot of fans who continuously keep asking about it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there are a few South Asian like organizations who currently aren't in Valorant who are looking to submit an application. So, yeah.
Thanks a lot, man.